Damn, is Norris down to 5th? Sorry, hello, this is Crystal Racing with a late intro. Getting my phone set up. Great start for Verstappen. He's ahead of Antonelli and Piastri. And what did I say about Lando? He is the little bro of F1. He's not that guy. "26 days of building wasted." Oh, what happened here? All right, okay. Miami Autodrome. I mean, they do like their Lego F1 cars. Very nice Lego cars there, but still cannot get my timing screen to update. No one has liked my feed yet. Norris is molding again. He's down to 6th. Norris is down to 6th behind Albon. Oh my goodness me, this is torrid. This is unholy by the Lord Lando. My God, McLaren must be kicking themselves. Piastri has dropped to 3rd, but no, he didn't drop to 3rd. He can't overtake Antonelli. That's what I'm trying to say. Lando in a Williams sandwich. Yeah, that tasty Norris meat must be fingerlicious for the Williams boys. VSC out. VSC. See, Gasly. Oh no, Gasly can't move at all. Dolan's down to last place, I presume. Dolan's pitted. Apologies for this setup. I'm having to listen to BBC 5 Live Radio because I do not have my TV available right now. Alright, I'll turn my TV down slightly. What the hell did Norris get? Oh my God, Norris. I don't think I need to explain to you what happened to Norris again. It's a very much normal procedure for Norris to have a Barrichello slash Mark Webber style start to the race. Unfortunately, I know, to be honest, this is probably who he is. It's basically a case of Tottenhamitis for Norris at this point. It's who he is. Oh, right, he clashed with Max. Yeah, but this is a problem with Lando, is that why does he always come off worse in these sort of 50-50 moments when he tries to go for an overtake? Why does he always get outsmarted? Like, he rarely capitalizes on these 50-50 moments at all. It's so key and important that you get it right on the first lap, but he just can't. I mean, this is why I say Lando Norris's racecraft is not good enough. I mean, he can sit there and complain to the FIA all he likes that, Max pushed me off the road, Max put 2 wheels on the curb and all that, but really, even if Max gets a 20-second time penalty like he did at Mexico, Max doesn't care. Like, Max will do what he wants. And he will always interpret the rules in his own favour, so... Oh, we had a virtual safety car. That's probably why nothing. I think I would very happily prefer to see a tree grow. Al Abwaza, I hope you're doing well this evening. Very interesting question, but I don't know how can you grow a knee? Does that mean that you get longer legs so you become a taller person? Piastri's up to second place, everyone. Predictably, it's going to be a race between Max and Oscar. I don't know. You sound like one of those marketing guys when you say stuff like that. So, I'm not entirely sure you're quite as invested in this Miami Grand Prix as me and my viewers are. Darwin and Lawson colliding back. Oh. Lawson is on the short straw, I've got to say. Really, Lawson. Oh, Darwin's out of the race, by the way. I just checked. That's why you had to pay Lawson. To be honest, even if, well, let's face it, I don't even care what Lawson does because I think getting booted out of Red Bull after 2 races I think that's ominous for the state of Lawson's F1 career. I don't really have high hopes for it anymore. Unless he can do what Gasly, Albon, Sainz have done, convince some other team on the grid that he's worth having, then if Alvin Lindblad can do something special with F2 this season, then yeah, I think Lawson is going to be kicked out of the Red Bull camp at the end of this season, and he can enjoy himself in DTM, being stuck, being held up by Arjun Maini in driving Ford Mustangs at Oschersleben. Norris up to 5th. He gets past Albon, who obviously is not in a race with him anyway, so that's. Heavy rain is going to cut his forecast, folks, so hold your horses. I'm sorry, Norris. You have no more excuses anymore. Bottling start after start after start. Yeah, okay, fair enough, John. You are spot on about Lawson. He is on fraud watch. What an absolute clown, honestly. I get I always felt like the reason why he would talk so strongly of himself was to try and prove to Herbert Markle that he was a driver worth having, but it just feels like it's more insecurity than actual self-belief. I wonder how angry George Russell must be inside his helmet. So if there's any updates here. Lando Norris has taken 4th off George Russell, whose weekend continues to go from bad to mediocre or mediocre to bad, depending on which one you think is worse. I think the latter makes more sense. Oh, and Sainz has overtaken Albon for 6, so I don't know what's going on there. Don't know. I mean, of course, as I've said many times, and I know people bored of saying it, Williams have got the most closely matched teammate partnership on the grid this season. Now that Ocon has departed Alpine. And of course, both Sainz and Albon used to be part of the Red Bull Junior Academy, and of course, they used to race for Toro Rosso. Investigation between Max and Lando at turn 2. Why is my page not updating? Why is my leader not board? Norris is in P4, for those of you wondering. Oh, yeah, I saw that story about Zach Brown still talking to Carlos Sainz about trying to keep his drivers on his toes. I mean, that's Lando Norris who's got his head on a chopping block right now, because I think Zach Brown would like to have a driver who's got a lot of technical knowledge behind him and can help to develop the car with technical feedback and strategy direction. Something that, now, truth be told, both drivers are lacking in this department, but Lando, considering he's in the sport for now 6 years, he really should have developed those technical skills and core development skills there by now. But like I've said about his racecraft, all of those things have been horribly neglected. So I think it's valid that Norris should come under pressure from Sainz, because it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Tsunoda still on course for a points finish again. Although, to be honest, it feels like Tsunoda is just doing the bare minimum, I'm afraid. Just keeping a car in the top 10. Although, to be frankly honest, he cannot be used as any sort of a buffer in the race strategy for Max. So Max is pretty much his own lone gunner in his own battles. But truth be told, Max doesn't really need a number 2 of any sort. He's just his own one-car team. To be fair, this was what it was like when Michael Schumacher drove for Benetton, and of course, early on in Ferrari. Oh, Lando's got into the podium places. Kimi Antonelli demoted to P4. Norris up to 3rd. Although, frankly, with how fast that McLaren is, I frankly don't feel impressed by Norris one bit, to be honest. Thank you for the weather update, John, my weatherman, on the chat. Lap 14 is forecast for rain, apparently. Yes, he is ahead of both Mercedes drivers, but my point stands. Norris needs to do better with his racecraft. Like, he can't be making stupid starts like he does, losing places. Not good enough for a driver who's in his 7th season of F1. We never saw Sebastian Vettel do this sort of nonsense. I mean, Vettel's the opposite. He was blindingly quick on Blackburn, even if his overall racecraft itself could be a bit dodgy, but at least he always aced the first 2 or 3 opening laps of a race. Oscar P. Oh, look, Oscar's only 0 points, only half a second behind Max. Max Verstappen once again, just like last season, under pressure from a McLaren in Papaya. Alonso got to 18th. Where was he before? He was 18th anyway. Yeah. Gasly's up to 17th. Stroll down to 15th. Oh dear, the Saubers have dropped off. Hamilton struggling to get to the points. Didn't know. I forgot about the 7-time champ. My God, Verstappen, you have got some insane defensive skills on you. I mean, I think Lando Norris should take some mental notes inside his helmet watching Oscar and Max fight in front of him. Oh, jeez, Aston Martin got the worst car of grid. It's that simple, really. I mean, 2 years ago, we were all talking about how Aston Martin were future world champions and how Alonso would get a third world championship and probably finally add to his tally of 32 wins. 2 years later, they're plumb last. I mean, frankly, all that Adrian Newey can do is just get Aston Martin to be semi-competitive again next year. It's not a championship battle they're looking at. It's just being competitive again. I don't know. I mean, it makes you wonder how much motivation Alonso will have, knowing that he's not really going to be fighting for a championship. He might get his 33rd Grand Prix win. I think the word for Vettel was that he was just more focused and he was just a lot more attentive to the details. And he just had for short periods of time, like the opening 3 or 4 laps, he would always push his car as hard as possible, open out a gap of over a second to avoid being having the drivers behind him exploit DRS, and then he would just drive away into the distance. He was just far more focused. Like, it wasn't so much he was ruthless, he was just focused. Lando just can't get his head together. Three laps time. We're playing first between Red Bull and McLaren, and of course we have to remember Tsunoda's not really going to be useful in the strategy battle. So, and then Perez wasn't that useful last year either. So back to being a one-car team again at Team Milton Keynes. So far, no one has completed a pit stop yet. I know Darwin did a pit stop, but I think he just bulked up. Hamilton's still struggling to get. Team is working 1/5. Okay. I mean, Aston Martin are using a Mercedes engine, so my God, Verstappen is doing a marvelous job. And yes, your new race leader is the Australian Oscar Piastri. Please ignore the leaderboard. That is your new race leader. Piastri ahead of Max Verstappen. It was always a matter of when and not if for Max, when he was going to lose the lead. I think Jackie Stewart would probably be, I don't know, criticizing him. Yes, Oscar Piastri is the team's McLaren's #1 driver. Look at that finger. #1 for Oscar Piastri. And this is going to be interesting. It's going to be Max versus Lando. Little bro Lando. Oscar, what's your favorite pastry? Yes. Moaning Yorkshireman and his favorite tagline about Piastri. Yeah, you might get rid of the number 8 and just have a 1. Oh, could Lando get a time penalty? Oh yeah, Max is obviously having a mid-race cry about brakes. Hamilton is now nearly 17 seconds behind race leader, over 17 seconds behind Piastri, who, when the hell is this thing going to update itself? Like, blimey. Oh my God, BBC, it. Yeah, there's your headline. Piastri overtakes Dutch Mustachio Man. Oh, are you kidding? What the? I mean, there we go. Yeah, you know what? What am I doing here? Piastri. Oh, he's already pulled a 4-second gap. Oh my word. Insanity. He was not ahead. Oh yeah, I mean Lando obviously will not get a penalty because he was he didn't gain the position, but I cannot replay anything from the Twitter page. You can go there yourself because it's copyrighted, I think. Jack Doan is out after colliding with fellow Antipolian Liam Lawson. Right. Let me just go to the live leaderboard. Here's the live leaderboard. Everyone still is more or less where they are in the top 10, except for Piastri overtaking Max. The two Mercedes still line astern. Albon has re-overtaken Sainz. Okay, that's a position change I didn't notice. Leclerc remains in a lonely 8th place. Tsunoda, Ocon, and then of course Hamilton still cannot navigate away past the Frenchman's horses, proving what? Oh my God, Norris, what are you doing today? Hadjar doing a good job in 12th. And there's the rest of the order. I can't be bothered reading it out. Oh, trouble in paradise between Max and Lando. Getting very messy out there in Miami. Oh, Norris has actually got past. But that is a controversial one. Could we be seeing a penalty? Could we be seeing a penalty for Lando Norris? Could he be ordered to give the place back? I don't know what's going on with the tyre graphic. Is that... Did they put on softs or mediums? Or... I mean, I know everyone... Most of the field went on mediums when it dried up yesterday in the sprint, but there were a couple like Lewis and Max who went on the soft tyres. But of course, for Max, that went horribly wrong because of the whole unsafe release thing that ruined Kimi Antonelli's race before all the penalties re-promoted Kimi Antonelli into 7th. Oh, Max has retaken P2. Oh my God, I don't know what's happening out here. Just... Oh jeez, I don't know. I think Lando was told to give the place back. Oh, well, Alpine's got a water pressure problem. Oh no. And yeah, I think the radar is now showing rain on the forecast. Max is, well, Jody and Paul has spotted Max's lack of rear grip. I think this is surely going to be P2 for Lando eventually. Yeah, I think Max is running out of rear tyres. I think this is obviously a rear limited track, so Max needs to nurse those rear tyres. Where were we? Yeah, so Albon back into 6th, if you didn't realise, trading places with Sainz, where it is neck and neck at Williams. It's like the driving skill levels are equal at Williams. Like, I know there's Sainz fans saying, oh, Sainz is just taking time to bed in, but I think deep down they are really closely matched in driving talent, ability. Although I will say Sainz did make a daft mistake in a sprint race when he clipped his rear tyres with the barriers at turn 4. Not a good thing. Costed the team some points when you consider the numerous time penalties that were dished out after the whole after Max got given 10 seconds for forcing Kimi to take avoiding action. Had to go into the pits for a second time. Lawson and Alonso colliding, which eliminated Fernando out of the race. Behrman and Albon also getting time penalties, so not good. 9 seconds is the gap between Oscar and Norris. That costed Norris. That poor start, having to overtake Albon and the Mercedes, and that dicey battle with Max has costed him a huge amount of time, and that has pretty much done all of Oscar's homework for him. But of course, we all know Lando Norris is one of the best number 2s in the business. That's not me being sarcastic either. This is perfect Barrichello-esque driving by car number 4. just so you know, the last driver to use car number 2 in F1 was, of course, Stoffel Vandoorne back in 2017. No, 2018 when he raced for McLaren, I beg your pardon. I think Stoffel Vandoorne is the only driver to have used car number 2 since Mark Webber in 2013, when, of course, that was the last year when the FIA handed out car numbers according to their own accounts on which constructor finished where in the constructors table, with the exception of course, the world champion being given car number 1 regardless of where his team finished in the constructors championship in the previous season. Yes, so that meant that obviously in 1997, the current world champion Damon Hill was using car number 1 on his Arrows car, despite the fact that I think the team finished, was it 9th or 10th in the constructors? I've got no idea, but... And it meant that Williams had to use cars number 3 and 4. Yeah, well, surprise, surprise, the heavens have opened at Miami. Yeah, the last driver to use car number 0 was, of course, current F1 pundit Damon Hill. I don't know why no one's ever called Damon Hill Damono or anything like Albon, or like gets called Albono as a nickname. And since this is a straight track, yeah, well, it's pretty much going to be as you were anyway. But then every F1 track, half the F1 tracks are pretty sterile these days, unless of course you start sprinkling rain onto the track or have a safety car out of nowhere. I mean, the thing is, let's be real, I think having mechanical problems in the past in F1 used to spice races up. I think the 1999 European Grand Prix at the Nürburgring was a classic example where rain was sprinkled in and the cars broke down, like Frentzen, who started on pole, was an outside bit for the championship, broke down and lost his championship hopes. And yes, Zhou has pitted for Haas. Stroll's gone for hard tyres. I mean, that's an interesting strategy choice because, well, I mean, Stroll is the wet weather expert in the field, so who am I to doubt Sir Lance's decision-making skills? He actually knows better than me or a lot of other people, so you do you, Lance. You're actually good in the wet, dry conditions, despite all of your other attributes being somewhat lacking. Ocon keeps hold of P10, but Lewis Hamilton is getting really fed up now. Didn't Lance get a podium? No, we got pole position in Turkey, because I think Lance's career pole positions have been podiums in 2020, the first one being in Italy, and of course his third, the most recent podium was in the Bahrain second race in the Sakhir short circuit. But he did get pole position in 2020 at Turkey. You are correct about that, but he finished 9th because his tyres faded off, and then I think he tried to use intermediates, but he couldn't get the tyres up to temperature, and he just found it really difficult for some reason to drive on it. So I don't know, he actually got caught out by the conditions, weirdly enough, that day, which is an awfully rare thing to say. I mean, this is a guy who drives faster in the wet than he does in the dry. It makes no sense. Lance Stroll's F1 career makes no sense whatsoever. Oh, Hamilton's up to 10th. I didn't notice. Hamilton finally shoves Ocon out of the way. About time. Like, what the hell are you doing being stuck behind a B-Tech Ferrari? Yeah, he's okay, but come on, let's be real. Lance is only here because of his dad, who needs to wake up from his wet dream. And I'm not saying that in an insulting way, I'm just being very brutally honest because and it looks like Tsunoda is, oh, well, there's a 5-second gap between Tsunoda and Hamilton. Oh, man, look at that, 15 seconds between Piastri and Max. Yeah, what did I say, folks? McLaren have got the fastest car by a country mile. A country mile in F1. Like, who are we kidding? I mean, it looks like Piastri's on course to get 4 wins in 6 races. We're entering the Piastri domination era of F1 now. And it looks like Verstappen's hopes of clinching a quintuple making it quintuple consecutive World Championships is fading by every lap. He may be a father for the first time, but his new baby has brought him no change in his fortunes. It's like, I don't know, in 5 years' time, 5.5 years' time, it looks like Max might be spending more time with his kids rather than going out on the racetrack, driving cars around in circles. I mean, let's be honest, what does Max really have to prove these days? Like, his first 10 seasons of his F1 career have been outstanding. It's like, even if he decides to leave F1 tomorrow, he's got a great legacy. I mean, what was it? 43 pole positions, over 60 Grand Prix wins, 4 World Championships, and 4 consecutive World Championships at that. Regardless of what NH44 fans like to protest about, because let's face it, they should be. I mean, if they wanted to know what I felt as a Kimi Räikkönen fan up to 2007, they would just look at me and think, oh, you're just a crybaby. Yeah, well. I mean, yeah, Red Bull losing their engineers and staff has obviously had a detrimental effect on the Milton Keynes squad. And a medium. Oh, Russell's got on hard tyres. That's interesting. Don't know. Did Anthony store on hards or mediums? I've got no idea because these stats are not helping me. What the hell are you talking about? Red Bull have lost their right to be savage. Rob Marshall deserves credit. Absolutely, he deserves so much credit. I think he might well be the new Adrian Newey with some hair attached to his follicles. Hamilton's pitted. Run a pit stop sequence, so where the hell is Sainz is down to 11th for now, but he will be back up the order when everyone pits. Oh yeah, what's it? I know there's been stories of Red Bull breaching the cost cap, so they had to trim the grocery bill, as they say. I mean, I don't know why the hell catering at Red Bull costs us a lot. Like, can't they just drink the Red Bull drinks as beverage? As rehydration? I mean, obviously, yeah, it's not healthy to be drinking more than a can of Red Bull per day. I mean, in some cases, some research has proven that if you drink more than 2 cans of Red Bull per week, you're going to have heart problems. So, I mean, even just drinking 2 or 3 cans of Red Bull a week is already a problem in itself. But yet, they keep selling billions, hundreds of billions of Red Bull cans per year worldwide. Jeremy Clarkson, I mean, Jeremy Clarkson literally used to live off energy drinks, didn't he? Oh, and even the BBC. Oh, yeah, of course, the BBC would report on Harry Kane winning the Bundesliga in Germany with Bayern Munich. Let's have a round of applause for the future Sir Harry Kane. I really don't care. If only Borussia Dortmund could sort their acts out. Tsunoda 16 seconds behind his teammate. Oh dear. How many laps are we in now? Lap 28. Oh yeah, Clarkson, Newey, and Wilman went to the same boarding school. Yeah, I mean, apparently Adrian Newey liked to tinker with the soundboard back in the day, and of course, it apparently caused a blackout in the school once. Behrman's in trouble. Well, apparently we've got moisture on the track. The heavens have opened. Yeah, some of the drivers have gone to the pits, so I think Williams might regret their decision. And Max probably will as well. Oh, Tsunoda's pitting. He's a guinea pig, so it doesn't matter where he ends up. Hamilton's pitted. Come on, update the leaderboard. Please be doing a better job than the BBC. Thank you for 4 likes. Yeah, and of course, a huge congratulations to Thomas Muller for an amazing football career. Yeah, the Audi Cup was a friendly tournament, so obviously that's the count. I mean, if we're going to count that, then we're going to have to count Tony Hibbert scoring a goal in a friendly match against Olympiacos, where all the Everton fans invaded the pitch, but of course, because it was a friendly match, it doesn't count as an official senior goal. And unfortunately for Tony Hibbert, he retired with no goals to his name, despite having played as a right back and an outfield player for his whole career. I mean, it's really rare to see an outfield player go a whole career without goal. I think the only one I think I can think of that's gone closest is probably Josh McEachran, who has played for many clubs like Oxford United and Middlesbrougugh and a few others I could think of because he plays as a defensive midfielder. And McLaren are pitting their drivers, it looks like. I mean, if the rain intensifies, I think they might have regrets about it because it is awfully late to be pitting now. Hulkenberg in 10th place. Hulkenberg's in 10th place, folks. He's doing a magnificent job for Sauber. But, oh no, he's not pitted yet. So, Tsunoda is obviously, Gasly's not pitted either. So, it looks like Hulkenberg and Gasly are gambling on the rain to fall. And I think Bem is out of the race. So, it's only Gasly and Hulkenberg. And Hamilton's overtaken Gasly. No, Hulkenberg's overtaken Hamilton. I beg your pardon. What am I talking about? Hulkenberg's in 9th place, folks. My God, Verstappen's down to 5th, and Russell's on for a place on the podium. Leclerc's up to 4th. Oh, Bottas has got problems. Albon and Sainz have dropped to 7th and 8th, having ran 6th and 7th earlier on. So Bottas sounds like he's in trouble. Aston Martin are going nowhere whatsoever. Lawson is going to be lapped. He's getting sacked at the end of this year at this rate. Oh, Albon's up to 6th. Oh. Oh my word, Albon is up to 5th. Alex Albon, what the, my God, Alex Albon has drank a full crate of Red Bull, it looks like, this morning. My God, Alex Albon, can you just imagine if Williams built a World Championship winning car? I would never shut up about saying about Alex Albon's chances of becoming a world champion. Hulkenberg still holding on to a points finish despite not pitting yet. Incredible performance by the veteran German. Holding off Tsunoda, and he's only 40 seconds behind race leader Piastri, Mr. Pastry Man, and it's 32 laps into the race. Oh my word, what a stint he's doing. My God, McLaren, that's a 23 second gap between Piastri and Russell. It's going to be 24 soon, so has there been any rain that's hit the track yet? I mean, all this much heavily hyped news of the rain coming, it doesn't sound like we've heard any sprinkles of moisture on the track. At this rate, it's probably going to start raining in the last 3 laps. Which is going to be fun because I can bet you there'll probably be like a couple of back markers who'll probably go to wets, and then the rest of the field struggles in the final 3 laps to make it to the finish line. Close down to 8th. Ferrari are having a ferociously dreadful weekend. Looks like they're going to score more points in the sprint than they will in the feature race. Since it's 3. Oh no, it's 4 points for 8th. I'm sorry. Okay, I've exaggerated it a bit, but 8th and 9th, 8th and 9th Ferrari. This is your true pace. 8th and 9th. Bottas was retiring. Not that matters anyway. But 8th and 9th, and you have to take into account, obviously, Tsunoda is struggling in a second Red Bull, so really, yeah, they're the fifth fastest team on the grid right now. Behind Williams. That's right, Scoop Marinello, you are, if you were not Benito already, you are now. Half a minute behind McLaren, between Mercedes and McLaren. Oh my word, half a minute. Look at the time gap, look at that. We've got 33 laps. I mean, on average, everyone else is like a second slower per lap than McLaren. My God, this McLaren is like basically operating at the same sort of performance that Mercedes had a decade ago when we first started out with the hybrid engines. Rob Marshall, what has he done? Like, oh, Gasly's apparently got a medium, but he drops the 13th. Behrman retired. Oh, Behrman was the other Ferrari that retired. Oh, that's why Ferrari dumped Sainz. That's, well, Sainz has dropped to 9th place. Oh dear. Look at that. He's already 10 seconds behind his teammate Albon. It's going wrong for the Spanish driver. And yes, I think I've got to say I'll give an apology to one of my viewers, Mr. Sayricara. You were correct about Sainz winding down his career, getting his arse handed to him by the 2 Fiat Puntos on the track. Oh, jeez. I mean, Antonelli's there for the taking, but could Leclerc and Hamilton hold each other up? Hang on a minute. Oh, I don't know what happened. Oh, that was the virtual safety car that opened a gap up between Piastri and Russell, I beg your pardon. So it's only 26 seconds in the end. It's not as bad as I thought it was, but I mean, on average, that's like what? 0.7 of a lap slower for the rest of the field compared to McLaren. That is frighteningly slow for everyone else, that is. McLaren, wow, they're gonna stroll to both world titles at this rate. Hulkenberg is waiting for the rain, isn't he? That's all he's waiting for. My God, he's managed to hold on really well on the hard tyres, just 50 seconds behind. I say just because that means he's lapping on average about 1.3 seconds slower. Considering he's driving a Sauber on hard tyres, I think that's pretty good. God. Hamilton, Leclerc's got the quality speed. Hamilton's got the race pace. Yeah, for Ferrari, we've got a problem here. What? How the hell? My graphic is telling me that Leclerc's on the medium, but Hamilton's on the hot. I don't know. Nearly half a minute behind Russell is behind Piastri, so the well, it looks like my graphic is incorrect. Hamilton's got a mediums and Leclerc's on odds. Don't think you need to emphasise the word cocking there, Williams. Where the hell are Atlasarian? Oh, Tsunoda's got a 5-second time pen for speeding. Just checking the notes. Tsunoda's back in the points by the looks of it. Yeah, but he's got a 5-second time pen, so that will not be enough to keep Hadjar behind him. Nearly 29 seconds is the gap between the lead McLaren and the lead Mercedes. Just so you know, Hamilton's actually on mediums, but Leclerc is on the hard tyres, so I don't know why they got that graphic incorrect. Not 39, folks. And Hamilton is pleading for team orders. He's pleading for the team to ask Zhou to let him pass for P7 so they can chase Kimi Antonelli in the Mercedes. And Hamilton is up to 7th place. It's a bit like when Felipe Massa was told to let Nick Heidfeld pass to finish. Was it 5th or 6th place at the 2002 German Grand Prix when the race was Sauber? Yeah, but I think in this case, yeah, Ferrari, it's a wise move. There's still 17 laps remaining, and Antonelli is only 5 seconds up the road. Although in Sauber's case, I mean, let's be honest, I don't really, well, I mean, they were miles off behind whoever the hell it was in front of them. Was it, I don't know, was it a Renault or Trolley or Button ahead of them on the road, or was it Jake Gordon Fisichella's Jordan Honda? Just so you know, we've not had a car painted in yellow since 2020, when, of course, Renault was still on the grid. Although that was really more of a yellow lines being painted on the car, because I think as their time, they spent more time in F1, I think their cars got more and more black. Oh! John Cartier's favourite driver has retired from the race. Liam Lawson has retired. Commiserations, indeed. You must be feeling terrible to see your man out of the race, Mr. Cartier. Of a tea break while you're at it. Damn, Lewis Hamilton is getting very, very, very petty with the Ferrari engineers there. Oh, it's taken just 6 races for Hamilton to throw his knickers out of the cockpit. I mean, to be fair, what were Ferrari waiting for? Like, seriously. Like, look at the gap between Hamilton and Leclerc. It's already a 2.5 gap between the pair of them. Like, I mean, we shouldn't be surprised though. Like, I can remember what it was like when Kimi was told to, when he took like 5 laps to tell Kimi to move out of the way for Vettel at the 2018 German Grand Prix. To be fair, it wasn't the fact that Kimi was told to move over that infuriated me. It was the fact they took like 5 laps to tell Kimi, to the point where Kimi had to ask the team, do you want me to let Seb by? Because I can tell you, because I mean, stop telling me to save my tyres, because I know that saving tyres is part of the process. Like, I'm not a 5-year-old, you know. Tea break. Oh man, I mean, I've heard Hamilton get heated on the radio, but wow, he got really, you could tell he was having a right strop there on that radio message. Tea break. Oh man, I've never heard Hamilton utter those words before. Oh damn. Rory better brush their act up, because, you know, a 7-time world champion doesn't stand for that type of BS. And unfortunately, it looks like, can someone put thumbs up in the chat, because I want to see if it's working. If I can't see a thumbs up or a thumbs down or any sort of emoji, then I'm going to presume my chat is broken. Oh, bollocks. Never mind. Yeah, I can't see anything, so Sainz remains in 9th. Russell is now 31 seconds behind. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's lapping about, on average, 0.7 seconds lower than the leaders. When is it going to start raining? It's like 42 now. We've only got 15 to go. 15 laps remaining, everyone. 15 laps remaining of the 57-lap race. That is your race order. I mean, Albon, on the other hand, is lapping almost a second slower than McLaren. But he's in 5th place, which is just phenomenal in of itself. Lap 43 of 57, 15 to go for Oscar Piastri, who is looking for his 4th win of the season already. I mean, he only won twice last year, but yet he's on course to double his 2024 race win tally in just the 6th race of 2025. And if he wins today, he'll move himself within just 2 race wins of Daniel Ricciardo's all-time win tally of 8 wins, and just 3 short of his manager Mark Webber's tally of 9 career wins. And I think he'll already clocked up about 50% of Alan Jones's win career record. I think 12 wins. Please correct me. And of course, Jack Brabham is the most successful Australian driver with not only 3 World Championships, but a total of 14 race victories. Well, Hamilton is less than 4 seconds behind Antonelli. Hamilton's not really closing down Antonelli as much as he was hoping. We might have an awkward radio message later on where Ferrari might well ask Lewis Hamilton to return P7 to Shalalala. Or is it Chalacla? I don't know. Or Charles Leclerc. Oh my god, it's like the Mercedes days all over again. Half a minute, when is the rain gonna come? I mean, I know obviously John will be very happy about this, but for the rest of us F1 fans, can't really say the same, I'm afraid. I mean, yeah, it's great to see McLaren doing well, but I'm a neutral, or more specifically, I'm a Pierre Gasly fan, so, you know, I get no joy, I get nothing from this. Gasly is down in 13th place. 8 seconds behind his old drinking buddy, Ocon. Whilst Hadjar is hovering within 5 seconds of Tsunoda, who of course has a 5-second time penalty for an infringement, so Tsunoda needs to pull out a slight gap if he wants that point. I wonder if we might get a bit of team orders between Red Bull and the Junior RB. Alonso and Stroll, plumb last. Somehow they haven't been lapped yet, but he will be soon anyway, so to be honest, there's no point even hating on Alonso these days. He's dug his own hole. As Sebastian Vettel would say for the Leclerc cockpit issue, there's something stuck between my legs. Look at that. Sainz is still within touching distance of the 2 Ferraris, whilst the gap remains 4 seconds between Kimi Antonelli and Hamilton. So, geez, I mean, Hamilton's spot plan is not working as according to as he would like. Why the hell are you reporting on football scores, mate? The football ended 4 hours ago. We're on lap 46. I don't know, is it going to rain? I don't think it's going to rain at all. And of course, this is a one-stop race, so of course, in Monaco, we will have a mandatory two-stop race this year. So, yeah, we'll actually have a bit of pit stop drama this year at the Principality. I'm gonna have to do something, folks. Okay, keep Team LH away from the battle. That's I don't know what the hell. Consecutive wins for Oscar Lawson. I have suffered through the Ron Dennis Honda shambles. So yeah, I mean, I suppose you get to enjoy this domination, but you know, we've had to suffer through well, I mean, the Schumacher years were like 2 decades ago, so that was a go. We've had to go through the Mercedes years. We had a couple of years of Max winning all the time during 22 and 23, so I don't know. I'm just hoping the other teams get their act together, like Mercedes and Ferrari, and Red Bull actually find a solution. I mean, I don't mind McLaren winning both championships. It's just that I don't want McLaren to be winning literally every race like it was on the recent teams and drivers I mentioned. Damn. Okay, so Max is closing a Russell. Oh, are they clamping down on the flappy? What was it? The flexi wings? Is it the flexi rear wings? Oh yeah, they're going to be clamping down on flexi rear wings later on this season. So, okay, that is a potential banana skin on the road for the Papaya boys. I mean, I don't want to make this personal, but I do kind of hope that McLaren do struggle a little bit, and I do kind of hope that the mid-season budget cap restrictions, where of course they reset the wind tunnel time and budget available, kind of hampers for McLaren a bit more. But of course, you do have a decent advantage. I think it's the flexi wings that's probably be the biggest obstacle for the McLaren boys to think about. It's not the $1 million question. It is probably the $100 million question at this point. So that's 2 McLarens, 2 Ferraris, 2 Williamses, 2 Mercedes, and 2 Red Bulls in the top 10. It's like we're back to the start of I mean, weirdly, it's like I don't know, it's almost like we returned back to the start of 2023 again, where it looked like it was almost next to impossible for most of the teams outside the top 4 or 5 to score points. Seven laps to go, folks. It's not going to rain, is it? It's not going to rain. It'll probably start raining with 2 laps to go, by which point it'll be too late. Unless it's heavy precipitation on the track. Is Piastri going to bottle the race win, really? Like, really? Nah, no, it's not happening. Toto is probably secretly enjoying Mercedes engine. There's been like a load of fans saying that Mercedes are now going to probably turn themselves into like the modern day Ford Cosworth type of engine supplier, where they just basically supply like 60% of the grid with like their engines, so that they can have the Mercedes logo everywhere, all over the grid. So they basically can be like, they instead of hedging all of their bets on one basket, they have like 6 baskets that are all capable of winning in any given situation. McLaren, their own Mercedes team, Williams. Next season it'll be Alpine, but right now they're giving engines to Aston Martin, but Aston Martin are completely irrelevant as I speak. Back to 2015, yeah, McLaren, no. Mercedes, Williams, Force India. Who else was there? That's 3 teams I thought of. Force India, Williams, Mercedes. Who else had Mercedes engines? Was it? No. I think in 2016, Borussia took all Mercedes engines and then they went out of business. So looks like Leclerc's overheating issues have solved itself. Oh yeah, Manor in 2015 Manor and Marussia were using Ferrari engines in 2015. So, it's getting close between the 2 backer boys. But Manor then became the Manor MRT team in 2016 with a slight rejig of the management system, with, of course, Marussia having taken their names off the team's entry list for 2016, and he switched to Mercedes engines. So, because of course Marussia had signed up to use Ferrari engines in 2014, and they continued the deal into 2015. So actually, there was only 3 Mercedes-powered teams in 2015, because I think, what was it? Ferrari, Sauber, Manor Marussia, so that's 3 at least. Renault had them. Oh yeah, Lotus were using Mercedes engines in 2015. That's who I was thinking of. Sorry. Yeah, it was Lotus who, for what, decided to use Mercedes engines because they realised their Renault engines were awful. And then, of course, Renault bought the team back to themselves, so sold the team back to themselves, so they returned to Renault for 2016. Yeah, so yeah, that makes sense in my head. And of course, the only team to use Honda engines were McLaren, who, yeah, that's kind of worms I've opened back up again. Team Enstone. You know, one day Alpine. I think if Alpine do get sold to another buyer, they should rename the team Enstone Racing. That's who they are really underneath, the Enstone Racing team. It's well, Piastri is holding on. He's holding on with 5 laps to go, and there's no rain on the track. Surprisingly, the weather forecast is looking good. I'll look at my notes. Look at these lap by lap notes. Hadjar trying to close in for P10 on Tsunoda, but of course, Tsunoda needs to finish 5 seconds ahead in order to avoid losing a point to his penalty. McLaren are free to race, according to Zachary Brown. Zachary Chenan Brown, should I say. Oh, I got team radio.
I need Luis to go faster. I've just got the... I need Luis to go faster. I've just got the dots here now.
That was 10 laps to go, by the way. 3.4 seconds. 4 to go. You see the gap between Tsunoda and Hadjar. Oh, Tsunoda is so... Oh, he needs to push a bit more, Tsunoda. It's not safe yet, that P10. Sainz. The gap between Antonelli and Leclerc, well, Leclerc's been has had P7 returned back to him, but they're still over 2.5 seconds behind Antonelli, and Albon has created a gap between himself and Antonelli, so that's a nice 6-second buffer between the Williams and the Mercedes. Whilst Russell has a 2.5 second buffer between himself and Max. Oh, Christian Horner is definitely the jealous type, I'll tell you that. Three laps remaining. We've had no rain. Absolutely. We've been sold a fake item. That fake item being the promise of rain on the track. I want my money back, Formula One. But yeah, seriously, what a performance by McLaren. 36-second gap over Mercedes. Unreal pace. Thank you for 5 likes here at Crystal Encore Racing. Whatever, I don't even know what I'm called anymore. Oh, okay. You're well. I mean, it's pretty much um standard procedure for Christian Horner. We're on the final lap. I think this is going to be the official race results. So Piastri. I know we missed out on pole, but it's going to be an A star for me. Lando Norris. It's going to be a B grade. Another terrible start, bailed out by the sheer pace and power of his McLaren. It's an A grade for Russell. Another fantastic drive, considering how limited his Mercedes is in terms of race pace and quali speed. Verstappen gets a B plus for getting pole position, but ultimately falling short of a podium. Albon is going to be an A star from me, and he's going to be my driver of the day. What a performance by Alex Albon. And yes, of course, Oscar Piastri is your race winner. And followed by none other than last year's race winner, Lando Norris. 6th place, Antonelli. I'll give him a B grade. Very good effort all weekend, but to be honest, he was very well. He's still got stuff to learn, overshooting the first corner in a sprint race. But truth be told, he never had the pace to challenge for the win anyway, so it wasn't that much of a big deal. And he finishes 6th in the full race. 7th place, Charles Leclerc. I don't know, it's going to be a C plus for me. Just not good enough. Crashed out the sprint, so that's not impressive. Hamilton and Sainz have hit each other. But Hamilton hangs on for 8th place. I'm going to give him a B minus because he got a podium in the sprint. But ultimately, he got outpaced by Leclerc in today's sprint in qualifying and finished behind him. But 9th is going to be Sainz. It's going to be a C plus for me. 10th, Tsunoda, C plus. Very good effort. Oh no! Oh wait! Oh no, he's going to finish 11th, I think. Oh wait, is that his time penalty added on? I don't know, but I don't know. I'll give him a C plus regardless of whether it's 10th or 11th. Hadjo. I'll give him a B grade. Very good effort, very good pace. In the RB once again, he's looking like a decent talent, isn't he, in his own right? I don't know how good he can become, but he's doing very well for a 21-year-old F2 graduate. 12th place, Ocon. I'll give him a B minus for his excellent qualified performance, getting into Q3. Pierre Gasly, I'll give him a C grade. Last guy to finish on the final lap, but his qualified performance stank out the place. Could have had more, but could have had an outside chance of scoring points had he done better in qualifying, to be honest. 40, 15, 60. Hulkenberg gets a C. Well, I'll give him a B minus for, holding on to the hard tyres as long as he did. But in the end, he had to pay. I mean, and sadly, he didn't get any points that would matter. 15th, 16th, Alonso, Stroll. Don't know how to rate these two, to be honest. They're like the Chuckle Brothers at this point. They'll both. Alonso gets a C minus, and Stroll will get a B grade for getting 4 points in a sprint. So, despite finishing last, I mean, he got the team 4 points despite their struggling, despite having the slowest car on the grid. Lawson gets an E grade. Shocking weekend. Shambolically bad. Rejected a weekend for me. 18th, Bortoletto. Don't know how to rate him. Probably give him a C grade for his excellent qualifying display. Behrman, don't know, give him a D grade. Just a really poor weekend for Behrman, I'm afraid. A lot to learn for the British driver. And I'm going to give a D for letter D, Jack Dowen. Collar Pinto, anyone? Congratulations to the Team Papayo boys. Okay, I'm going to read your comments. I will always have a soft spot for Albon. Fair enough. Oh, and McLaren are on course to surpass Williams' constructors' titles. That is a hugely, massively historical statistic there. Thank you for 6 likes. McLaren look as dominant as Red Bull 2023, Will. Hello there. I hope you're doing well tonight. To be honest, I think I'd go one further and say that I think they're looking as dominant as Mercedes around 2016, 2019, rather. Yeah, Verstappen still very consistent despite Red Bull's lack of race pace. And to top it off, McLaren have got 2 very fast drivers. Even though, obviously, I still question Lando's overall racecraft. It's basically, look, I mean, the thing is, in 2019 and 2020, I think Mercedes had a car that was obviously just as fast as what they had in 2014, 15, and 16, but Valtteri Bottas stopped them from winning as many races as he probably could. Although in 2020, they pretty much won about, how many races did he win? Was it? They won 14 out of 17 races because Perez, Gasly, and Verstappen. Oh no, they only won 13 because Verstappen won twice. So yeah. Can't give either driver McLaren 10 out of 10. No, I mean, I gave Oscar Piastri like an A grade. And I gave Norris a B plus for that very, very poor start. I've got to say, of the race is not good enough from Norris, but no. Okay, fair enough. No one deserves. Well, I've given Albon an A star because he's been my driver of the weekend, like 12 seconds out of Sainz. I think the Constructors' Championship should just about stay the same, but I think Williams will now consolidate fifth place by a bigger margin over Haas, who I think there's going to be something of a gap between fifth and sixth place for the rest of this season if Williams can maintain this level of speed. Although I think the mid-season budget cap reset might slow Williams down a bit from Silverstone onwards. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, John. Imola is our next race at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Don't miss out that race. And of course, in Europe, it's going to be held at a more reasonable time for us. So obviously, yeah, it won't be a late start like it is tonight. Good luck to all the football clubs competing in the European semi-finals on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Gotta say, probably four of the biggest games of the season for those teams. Yeah, Norris is going to be under pressure after this result. I mean, I think that now extends Piastri. Apologise for burping, hiccuping. 17 points. 17 points should be the advantage for Norris. No, Piastri. What am I talking about? Investigations inbound. Sainz and Gasly. Oh, Sainz could be losing points.
Well done, Oscar. Great job. Really smooth. Pace was phenomenal.
Nicely done.
It's never the best feeling to be P2, but the team has been an amazing job. Oh my god, Lando just felt like he wanted to fall asleep reading that out. Oh, Lando injured his leg in the Lego race. Oh my, oh damn! I think Lando fans might have their pitchforks out tonight for Georgie boy. Yeah, plus 16. That is your race order, everyone. So that's Piastri, Norris, Russell on the podium, Verstappen, fourth, the reigning quadruple champion, Albon with a season best of fifth, sixth for the sprint pole sitter, Kimi Antonelli, seventh and eighth for Ferraris, Leclerc and Hamilton, ninth for Sainz, under investigation, 10th for Tsunoda, who was given a 5-second penalty, but hangs on to P10 ahead of Hadjar. 13th place Gasly is under investigation, but he's not going to lose any positions because he was the final car on the final lap. Intermediate progress. Oh, damn. Who would imagine a Lego race could cause so much controversy? I mean, it's a shame. It was only a one-stopper, so, you know, tyre degradation was not really a factor here, but... And what made it worse was the fact that the much-anticipated rain never arrived, so... Pretty much the day from heaven for the Team Papoya boys. Congratulations to McLaren. You've been through some really torrid years, so... You know, with the Spanish prima donna getting GP2 engine down the radio... Jenson Button and Van Dorn being powerless to resist the decline. Ron Dennis being sent on his way at the end of 2016. Eric Boudier suffering the same fate a couple of years later. Zach Brown, as much as he gets criticised, steering the team in the correct direction. And last year, McLaren owning the team's first Constructors' title win for 26 years. And now I think it is time for Piastri or Norris to win the team's first driver's title since Hamilton in 2008. Oh yeah, when was the last time they were leading 1-2 in a championship? I don't know. I actually don't know, to be honest. I think that's got to be the 1998 Australian Grand Prix, I suppose, when, No, it's got to be the 2003 Malaysian Grand Prix when Kimi Räikkönen took the lead of the championship with 16 points and David Coulthard was sitting in second place on 10 points despite retiring from the Sepang race. So it's either 2003 Malaysia or it's 1998 Australia. So, and of course, that was a controversial race where David Coulthard was forced to concede the lead and the race win to Mika Häkkinen due to a 40 pit stop. Yeah, same number of wins as Gilles Villeneuve. Yeah, very short career Villeneuve had. I mean, Villeneuve only raced in F1 for about 5 years, so obviously it's not going to take that long to get to the same number of winners that as Jax's late father. Rest in peace. And I think I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you for watching here at Crystal Racing. I'll see you again next time.